Very cool.
All right, guys, got Maria here. Question is, how do I use Agile to get a job if I don't have a lot of experience yet? Maria?
Yeah, that's a great question. And people ask this a lot of times in our training classes, so now I understand the core foundations of Agile, maybe the Scrum framework, but how can I actually get a job doing that? Maybe a job as a Scrum Master if you don't have a lot of extensive experience. And so one of the things I always recommend is look for an opportunity to apply Scrum on a project, any project. So this could be something outside of work, whatever your current job is, if you're trying to get into project management or getting into Agile. And so it could even be volunteering for a nonprofit group in your community. There's a lot of different social groups, networking groups, churches. If you have like a local like food drive or food bank or something like that, or a group that does community service, if you were to show up and volunteer to assist and help with their organization, and then say, hey, I'd like to help provide the project management for this project that we're doing or for the service that we're providing. And you could literally just start by creating a product backlog. Well, what are all the things that we'll need to do? Let's create the visual task board. You can use an online software tool to share it with people distributed and help to facilitate amongst the volunteer team. You could even use it for like a home improvement project. If you're looking at doing different home improvement projects around the house, whatever you can do to be able to say, I created a product backlog, created a sprint backlog, and I have now managed this project as a Scrum Master. Those are the types of stories you'll want to have when you go into an interview to be able to share with people, this is what I've done, and this is what I'm going to be able to do for your organization. Now, a lot of people might say, well, what if I haven't worked in that job yet? Now I've done some volunteer experience, done some side projects where I can actually speak to having been a Scrum Master or having used this approach. And if people are asking about your knowledge or expertise for that particular industry, what I like to do is sometimes flip that question around. So if you're in an interview and people are asking about your experience and it's a little bit light, what I would say is if you've been through like a certified Scrum Master class, you could get an industry certification to validate that you know how the core Scrum framework is supposed to be applied. So in that case, what I would do is say, hey, look, I'm being hired as a Scrum Master and I'm a certified Scrum Master, which means that I haven't been working with a company using Scrum the wrong way. The good news for you that I'm a fresh, newly certified Scrum Master is that I've learned the core practices and the foundational steps that are needed to be a great Scrum Master and to follow Scrum properly. And so by sharing that, this is going to help you have a little bit of an edge and put yourself forward in the best light, having a little bit of experience and being able to speak to your credential. If you have attended the Certified Scrum Master class, that can actually help make up for some of that time where you haven't done much of the experience in the real world in the real project. Then when you find that fill-in project or that volunteer opportunity, now you can say that you've used Scrum.